Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to tell you about the time my family went $8,000 into debt for a vacation we deserved and how it almost destroyed the very family I was trying to celebrate. Everyone on social media was traveling. Our kids were begging to go somewhere exciting. We'd been working hard all year, and didn't we deserve a break? But sometimes the break everyone's taking is actually breaking them. That's exactly what Jesus was warning us about in Luke 12:15, when he said, "Life does not consist in the abundance of possessions." This is the story of how we almost traded our financial freedom and our peace of mind for a collection of Instagram photos. 2 years ago, my wife Jessica and I were scrolling through our phones late at night, exhausted from another long week. But my feed felt like a personal attack. Every other post was someone else's joy. Friends in Hawaii at sunset, coworkers at Disney World in matching shirts, Jessica's college roommate at an all-inclusive resort holding a coconut. The captions were all the same. Making memories. Life is short. Blessed. My 10-year-old daughter Chloe walked by and saw the theme park photos. "Dad, why don't we ever go anywhere? All my friends are going places this summer." That question hit me like a punch to the gut. The truth was, we had been grinding, paying down old credit cards, building a small emergency fund, trying to be responsible. But watching the world live its best life through a screen, I felt like a failure, like I was depriving my children of a childhood. "We should take a trip this summer," I said. Jessica looked up, exhausted. "Babe, we don't really have the budget for that. We just finally got the savings account to $1,000. "I know," I replied, "but the kids are only young once. We're going to blink and they'll be off to college. We need to make a memory that lasts." Once the seed was planted, it grew like a weed. We spent the next week just looking. Disney World was the big one. When we priced it out, flights for 4, a hotel on property, 5-day park hopper tickets, and the skyrocketing cost of food, the total hit $8,200. We had $1,200 in the bank and $15,000 in old credit card debt. The math didn't work. It didn't even come close. "We can't afford this," Jessica said, her voice trembling. But then the solution arrived, a glossy envelope from a credit card company. "You're pre-approved, 0% interest for 18 months. I did some man math to justify it. "Look, we put the $7,000 balance on this card. At 0% interest, if we just pay $400 a month, it's paid off in less than 2 years. We'll just tighten the call when we get back. It's an investment in our family." I even called my buddy Mark for validation. "Mark, how do you guys afford the cruises?" He laughed. "Man, nobody has the cash. We just swipe the card and figure it out later." You can't take your bank balance to the grave, brother. Your kids won't remember your 401k, but they'll remember those Mickey Mouse waffles. Even my mother-in-law encouraged us. "You have to go. We were always in debt when you were kids, Jessica, but look at the photos we have." I began to view the debt not as a burden, but as a tool to buy happiness. We deserve this. We booked the trip. I posted the Countdown to Disney graphic on Facebook. The likes started rolling in. For the first time in months, I felt like I was winning. The trip itself was wonderful. 7 days in a bubble of magic. The kids were ecstatic. We captured every smile on camera. But the moment we stepped off the plane back home, the vacation high evaporated. The credit card statement arrived 3 days later. $8,542.11. We had spent even more than planned. To make the $400 monthly payment work, our daily life changed drastically. No more Friday night pizzas, no soccer camps. We canceled Netflix, canceled the gym. I started looking for a second job. Then life happened. 3 months after the trip, our SUV's transmission started slipping. The mechanic's estimate, $2,400. We had nothing. Our emergency fund had been depleted. I had to put the car repair on yet another credit card, this one with 24% interest. The stress began to poison our home. Jessica and I stopped talking about our day and started arguing about the grocery bill. I was working 60 hours a week to keep up with payments, which meant I was never home to actually see the kids I had made memories for. 6 months after the perfect vacation, my daughter asked, "Dad, why are you always angry now?" It broke me. I realized that for 1 week of magic, I had traded a year of peace. We had the photos on the wall, but the people in the house were miserable. One night, unable to sleep, I opened my Bible to Luke 12:15. Jesus said, "Watch out. Be on your guard against all kinds of greed. Life does not consist in the abundance of possessions. I realized greed wasn't just about wanting a bigger house or a fancy car. It was the greed for status, the greed for experiences I hadn't earned. I was greedy for the likes and the image of a perfect father, while I was failing to be a present father. Jessica and I sat down at the kitchen table that night, not to fight, but to repent. We apologized to each other for letting comparison drive our ship. We sat the kids down and were honest. We made a mistake, I said. We spent money we didn't have to give you a week of fun, and now we're paying for it with our peace. We have to get out of this hole. We sold my old motorcycle. We sold some furniture. We didn't go out to eat for a year. It took us 16 months of grueling sacrifice to pay off that 1 week. But a strange thing happened during those months. Because we couldn't go anywhere, we stayed home. We started playing board games again. We took long walks in the local park. We built a giant fort in the living room in order to find Beller Pizza. One night, Chloe looked at me from inside the blanket fort and said, "This is the best night ever." It hit me. She didn't need an $8,000 castle. She just needed me.
Thanks for watching. Here are today's reflection questions. What's one experience you felt pressured to buy because of social media comparison? And was it really worth the cost? If you're honest with yourself, what are you sacrificing right now? Peace, time, relationships, to maintain an image of success? Drop your thoughts about the story in the comments below. Your experience might encourage someone else facing the same choice. If this resonated with you, hit that like button, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more stories about finding real freedom in a world obsessed with keeping up appearances.